Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
Some players on this roster countdown are higher or lower, not because necessarily anything that they have done, but because the way the roster and the depth chart is kind of shaken out after free agency, draft, undrafted free agents, all those things. Tight end Brayden Willis, slash fullback, slash special teams, whatever, versatile. That's why the Niners drafted him. Comes in 63. He lost 23 spots. Last year was at 40. His rookie year was at 42. So 42 to 40 to 63. Really was hoping he would kind of seize that role as the tight end 3 last year and just couldn't do it. And if you would have asked me before the draft where Brayden Willis would be, I would have said 80s at best. Like, he would have been in the 80s. But the 49ers, went and signed Luke Farrell, big-time tight end 2 contract, and didn't bring any competition in for tight end 3. Ross Dwelly, I understand that, but, who's tight end 3? In an offense that uses the tight end 3, much more so than almost any other team in the NFL, there is a spot to be had, and the competition there is light. Jake Tonjes, Ross Dwelly, Mason Pline, Brayden Willis. I don't know who's going to win that job, but when you look at versatility and character and, pedigree and height, weight, speed, athleticism, Brayden Willis has those things. So he comes in at 63, which is a lot higher than I thought he would have been, but the Niners just did not address that spot, so somebody's got to fill it. And there's enough confidence in what Brayden Willis brings that whether it's special teams, tight end, fullback, he could do it. Is he great? A lot of people were out on him because they tried him at fullback full time last year in the preseason, and it just proved dude, this guy cannot power base block. Period. He could do all the other things. He can pass block. He can run the routes, and he can run block, but he can't do the Kyle Juszczyk power base block against the H-back wham block against defensive tackles, defensive ends, linebacker. He's not getting movement on his blocks. He can block. It's just he kind of got shown okay, he's 6'4", 240. He's a small, undersized H-back tight end guy, and it showed, look, he has a limit on the power blocking scheme that you want to do. So you can't run all plays with him at fullback. And at tight end, he's decent. Special teams, he's decent. You just don't really get a lot of the hot sauce specialty whatever that you thought was going to come when you drafted him. Now he's a 7th round pick, and he wasn't even the first tight end that the 49ers drafted that year. You remember they took Cameron Latu in the 3rd round, and I thought that was almost as absurd as the Jake Moody pick. But I kept saying Brayden Willis is going to make this roster over Cam Latu. I said that nonstop. Draft night, I said it. I had Brayden Willis ranked higher than Cameron Latu on my big board that year, and that proved to be true. It's just, just because Cam Latu was bad doesn't mean Brayden Willis is good. He just hasn't taken that next step to explosiveness. Now, he wears jersey number 9, which I like. Tight end, he's 6'4", 240, 33.25-inch arms, 25 years old, still young. Had a 7.33 cone, not great change of direction, 33.5-inch vertical, 9'10 broad, 20 bench press reps, good. Did not run his 40, so we don't have that. Now, and here's where it gets weird, okay? And this is an athletic comparison on mockdraftable.com, which measures all those things that I just listed. He has a 96.2 overlap match rate with Brock Bowers. He is not Brock Bowers, but he's built like him. He moves, change of direction like him, strong like him, arm length like him, just doesn't play like him. And here's what's funny. The other 2 players that he's the highest match with, Cole Hikatini, 94.5%, Cam Latu, 91%. The 49ers have a type with that H move back, versatile whatever piece. This small 6'4", 240 hyper athletic, you want, everybody wants a George Kittle. Well, George Kittle's one of one. But the athleticism, the pedigree, the work ethic, the team captain, former quarterback, there's a lot of check marks in the evaluation process when you're going through Brayden Willis, going into his 3rd season. Usually, that is where tight ends start to kind of blossom a little bit. And so you're hoping he takes that next step. He's still young. And tight end, another thing that I think is very important, Quarterback and tight end, you could throw. I'm going to leave it at those two. Quarterback and tight end are two of the most difficult positions to transfer from college to the NFL. It is just difficult. Does that play into it? Has 2 years been enough? Now, he's a Texas boy. He went to Martin High School in Arlington. We played them many a times at Duncanville. Then goes to Oklahoma. Was a Sooner there, team captain, and, man, he was around for a long time, part of 3 Big 12 championship teams, 2 college playoff teams. I mean, this dude played in the Alamo, the Cheez It Bowl, you name it. 5 seasons there, and the team went 50-15. It was kind of OU's height of their whatever, like he played with a lot of quality teams and well coached. I hate Oklahoma with a passion, but I really liked Brayden Willis. He's one of 3 2022 recipients of the Don Key Award. That goes to excellence on and off the field. This dude, clean, great player, great dude. You listen, he started a podcast while he was in college called The Podcast on the Prairie with a couple teammates on his show, and it's awesome. Like, this guy has a career in whatever it is he wants to do. Like, you could tell he's good at what he does, but he's got to take that next step on the football field. That's what it's going to have to do. And his nickname at OU was Weight Room Willie because of how hard he worked. And, again, team captain, that was a fullback tight end. That doesn't happen a lot. You just got to get something extra. Something's got to splash in a positive. Here's John Lynch's comments when they drafted Brayden Willis. Quote, "We had him ranked really high, so when he was still around, it made a lot of sense. He's got a lot of versatility to his game. He's a guy who embodies what we like in terms of after the ball in his hands. He could do some special things, play some tight end, play some fullback, a nice tool to move around. Made a lot of big plays for Oklahoma, former quarterback, real smart, cerebral kid. You could put a lot on him. So when he was still there, it made a lot of sense for us," end quote. That's John Lynch after they drafted Brayden Willis. And remember, they drafted Cameron Latu first in the 3rd round. They drafted Brayden Willis in the 7th round. Whenever he got drafted, he said, quote, this is Brayden Willis's words, 31 teams are going to pay, end quote. That has not come true yet. Got an economics degree. I really like this guy. You just got to see something on the field. He got cut last year and put back on the practice squad, elevated a handful of times as a primarily special teams guy. It's just nothing's great. And you go back to our pre-draft write-up, I had a 6th-round grade on him, so it's not like I was super high on him, but 49ers drafted him 7th round. We had a 6th-round grade on him. I had a 7th-round grade on Cameron Latu. He had an 80.3 run blocking grade, and this was our pre-draft before the Niners drafted him. Lead blocking and blocking in space are good. Loves to block. Pancakes guys on the regular. That is not translated. Functional athleticism as a pass catcher, versatility, special teams value. That is true. We'll have to acclimate to a vastly different role in the NFL passing game. Will be hard. That was check. We nailed that one. Role-specific prospect, which he hasn't carved out just yet. Some teams will see him as a fullback. That's not it. That's kind of what he is. And so it's problematic at best for what he offers. And again, 2023, his rookie year, he had 2 targets, no catches, 1 tackle. Last year, 3 tackles, no targets. Was kind of just a special teams guy. Played 184 snaps last year in 10 games. 159 of those were on special teams. He got some mop-up duty whenever the Niners were getting blown out a couple times, but outside of that, just special teams. He's on a 1-year, $1.03 million deal, no guarantees, and he's made $1.59 million in his career so far. 17 games played. And special teams seems to be the way. Can he catch on with Brant Boyer? I don't know. Last year was rough. Had 2 penalties. One of them was a major Debo Samuel kickoff return that was brought back. It was like a 60-yard penalty, and it was a terrible it was a correct holding call, but it was a terrible play by Brayden Willis. Like, he just blocked too long and didn't let go whenever the defender was pulling off, and Debo was passed. It was stupid. But I don't know. But the chances are still there for Brayden. Somebody's got to be tight end 3. Brayden Willis? Why not? Mason Pline is who I want to win the competition because he has more upside than anybody else. Jake Tonjes, local kid they trust. way less upside, way less athleticism than Brayden Willis, but I think Jake Tonjes is better at special teams, and I think Jake Tonjes is better at fullback, but I prefer Brayden Willis at tight end. Ross Dwelley, duct tape, kind of does a little bit of everything. He's long in the tooth, but he's been there. Somebody's got to win it. I don't know who it's going to be. My guess is Brayden Willis will not make the 53-man roster. I don't think anybody's going to claim him. That ship has sailed whenever you cut him and brought him back last year, so it's kind of easy to rinse, repeat. But nobody's claiming Ross Dwelley. Nobody's claiming Jake Tonjes. Nobody's claiming Brayden Willis. Mason Pline, maybe, but I doubt it. He's the only guy that's like, he has some elite traits, elite skill sets. But I would not be mad if Brayden Willis wins the job. I think gets released, waived at the 53 cut down, and then brought back on the practice squad, and you could elevate him as your tight end 3 without, using one of your 53-man roster spots. That's my prediction. Can he catch on with special teams with Brant Boyer? Can he win the tight end 3 job? That's what we got. But Brayden Willis, he's around 2 years longer than Cam Latu. You have to give him some credit. He's a 7th-round draft pick, but we got to see something. And he comes in 63 on this roster countdown, which is a shock, but not whenever you look at the fact that they didn't add a tight end 3 competition at all during free agency or the draft. So this is what you got. Thank you, Josh, Ben, and Zach, executive producers of this whole series. And for us in the 49ers Rush team, keep counting them down.